Hello, hello. It's time for Fishing Friends. How's it going, everybody? This is Fishing Friends with Danny and Gina. I'm Danny.
And I'm Gina.
Oh, man. It has been such an interesting week.
It has. Oh my God. For me too.
Interesting day for sure. I went to work yesterday and I got myself all clocked in and stuff, and I'm doing my thing, and all of a sudden I get a text message from my dad saying, like, I'll see you tomorrow morning. And I'm just like, what's tomorrow morning? And he's like, the golf tournament. I'm just like, oh man, I thought that was at the end of October. And he's like, nope, October 1st, Saturday, 9 a.m. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Like,
oh my God.
All right, cool. But
I didn't realize
I was actually happily surprised with that because, I don't go golfing much. Like, honestly, probably only once a year during the tournament. And but I do like to go, and it's a lot of fun. The tournament's a lot of fun. It was my first experience with like events or things like that. So, like silent auctions and 50-50 drawing and things like that. So going and experiencing that with fish at like the Triple Crown event in the ACA last year, like that's really cool. But yeah, golf is kind of fun, and I'm not very good. We did like a 4-man scramble today. So for those that don't understand what that is, we had 4 people on teams, and with the scramble part is you all shoot, you all hit your own ball, and whoever has the best ball out of those 4 shots, you go off of that one, and then you do the same thing every time. So you all shoot, but you all just keep going off of whoever has the best ball. And I think we only went off of my ball like 3, maybe 4 times overall, which is pretty much my average. And I think we got -6, so too bad. But let's see. We got a lot of people here already. We got Lady Rorschach, and we got Sky Dancer, and we got Mark Sturlson, and we got the Nano Aquarium guy, and we got Bunny Viper Aquatics,
Bunny,
and we got the Zen Ginger. How you doing? We got Big Guppy. That name doesn't sound familiar to me, so welcome, Big Guppy. We got All Things Fish. How's it going, Mike? Great to see you. We got Richard Reynolds here.
hello.
And I'm at the bottom. Oh, there's Lady Diane. Lady Diane. I almost missed you because of the lady, and I saw Lady Rorschach right above you too, so I almost thought they were the same name. Sounds about par for the course. Yeah. No, par would be 0. We were -6. We almost got an eagle on one hole. We're all allowed to have 2 mulligans per player, and so we ended up taking 3 mulligans on that hole to really try and get that eagle, and didn't happen. We ended up getting 3rd place, I think, in our like group. So there was I think there was a total of 32 teams, divided into like 16 teams per group. So there was like the A group, and there was the B group, and there's like 16 groups.
You
16
good?
teams in each group. I was 16B. Oh, yeah, haven't hit your stream in a while, Danny. But I have to ask, what's with the tank behind you 6 inches low? Yeah, exactly. The tank is a real conversation starter for sure. In fact, I was gonna actually have my brother come over after the golf tournament and help me, but he didn't drive himself. He drove with my dad, so it would have just been like, too much out of the way and stuff. But I used to have African cichlids in there, and they were doing pretty good for a while. And then I just added a few more, and then they started killing each other. And so I just slowly lost all my African cichlids and gave the remainders to my brother, where he had 125 to put them in and stuff. And the four that I had left are happier now, and they're nice big tanks that they're in. But I've been meaning to move this tank into my fish room and set it back up and rescape it and stuff like that, for actually these swordtails down here in this 10-gallon right now. I just haven't been able to do that. I haven't wanted to completely drain it out and like clean everything out completely and stuff and like kind of start over to move it all by myself. I kind of want to keep everything cycled and just kind of keep it running and just sort of reuse a lot of the materials that are already in the tank and then maybe add some more to it and stuff like that. So that's kind of the plan. I haven't been able to move the tank on my own, and I haven't had my brother come over to move it yet with me. But I'm moving this 55 into my fish room. Because since it's thinner, it'll fit on the wall better. And then also I'll move my 60 breeder out here to go in that place. And I'll build my reef tank right behind me to have as a real nice conversation starter behind me and all that. And then I'll have all freshwater and tropical lizard in my fish room. And then I'll have the reef out here, and I won't have any conflicting stuff. I really feel like all the white lights and stuff in there with all the plants trying to grow will mess with the saltwater tank, and then like the blue light of the saltwater tank would mess with everything else too. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, no, thank you.
Yeah, that's good.
But
yes, so swords will definitely appreciate the extra space. Yeah.
It's been kind of a weird week for us at work too. Each day has been great in sales. We've had a lot of customers come and either start a new ticket for an installation, new tank setup and installation, or come in and pay off their ticket. So we have a lot of installs coming up soon. And then today was the slowest day of the week. It was really bizarre. Yeah.
On Saturday, huh?
Yeah, on a Saturday. It was like the opposite.
I mean, we had like the absolute best weather today.
Oh my God, it was so nice. That's probably where everybody was probably out and about.
This is like the 4th or 5th, maybe even the 6th golf tournament that I was like actually involved with. I think I've only played in 3 of them. Like this is the absolute best weather we've ever had because we always schedule it like a whole year in advance. Like so. Get the chance to get the good weather, is just completely up to chance. And last year it was like misty and a little bit rainy all day, and it only got up to about like 60 degrees, I think. Whereas today, like it got up to like 80, 82 maybe.
Yep.
And it was really nice and just a good bright sun all day, not a cloud in the sky.
It was a really nice day. Yeah, I was cleaning sand today. My back is killing me. So So I only did one section. I took the sand out of 2 tanks, sprayed it out, but I took all the rocks out and was scrubbing them off. So I got some cyano and this weird algae stuff that shouldn't be algae, but I discovered why it's in that tank. But anyway, so I scrubbed all the rocks, hunched over a big trash can, scrubbing rocks. And then I tested the copper in that system because there's supposed to be copper in that system, so there shouldn't be any algae. Copper was at 0. So now my task this week is to go through and check the copper levels in all the tanks that are supposed to have copper in them. It just takes forever because I use the Salifert test, and it has to sit for 20 minutes before you're supposed to read the results. So it's a little obnoxious. It's a little obnoxious.
Huh.
But yep. But yeah, otherwise it's been a pretty good week. Peekaboo.
Yeah.
Had some drama at work earlier in the week, but it was all resolved, so we can move past it.
Yeah, we had the absolute best weather today, but then people down south are not having a good time.
Yeah. Lady Diane says Gina makes my back hurt just listening. Yeah.
Marco is always such a cutie, Lady Rorschach.
He knows it.
Marco steals the show all the time.
He does.
But honestly, I don't care. That's fine. I need a break every so often.
Right?
Yeah, after that tournament, I came back and I think I watched a couple of YouTube videos and kind of decided I want to take a nap. And luckily, Gina texted me at 7:45, or else I probably still would have been doing the same thing on my couch.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I didn't show up till 2 minutes till because I was making coffee.
Yep.
I know I've been tardy. The last couple streams I've been tardy.
Such a great name. Snoochie Booch. And we got Craig Doniger here with Craig's Catfish Cave.
Have my coffee. Nope.
Yeah. I think I almost need more coffee. This coffee is still from earlier, so it's not even hot in this thermos anymore.
I have to order 400 pounds of sand for my 180. If my measurements are correct, approximately 2 inches of sand. Man.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, though. Just thinking about it, 400 pounds of sand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you there too. Really, probably you need 800, which would be awesome. Have a nice thick substrate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do a really good thick substrate on my 60 breeder, especially in the back.
Yep.
I'm really debating how I want to set it up. I'm probably gonna do kind of a combination of different things. Because I don't know, there's some things that I don't have access to that I really wish I did. Already seeded sand or whatever directly from the ocean.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It would be nice to just go out and collect sand from the ocean.
I think the website that I got my live rock from, my ocean rock from, does do sand, so I can send you a link to it.
Yeah.
I just don't know how much more. I haven't really looked at it, so I don't know how expensive it is.
That's not really necessary or anything, but it would be nice to have that.
Or at least a couple.
Especially as a base layer,
right.
Just to get all the nutrients and stuff from it too.
Yeah.
Because I've been, I don't want to necessarily do like a father fish saltwater tank directly, but like I kind of want to do like maybe a little bit of that because I know like saltwater needs all the nutrients and stuff too, but they need it at like certain levels. Like when he sets up his saltwater tanks, like he adds dirt in his saltwater tanks too. He just adds like twice as much sand on top of it. So he'll do like an inch and a half of dirt and then he'll add like 3 or 4 inches of sand on top of it. And like the sand is coming like directly from the ocean. So that's, really good and all that. But I don't know, like when I think about it, like how like having the dirt and stuff in the substrate, like I don't really see how it is really like necessary or whatever in like a saltwater tank because like it's not like there's like the plants in the substrate and stuff where they're like rooting down and like getting into the nutrients and stuff like that. Like I think you more want the stuff like in the water column, right?
Yep.
For like absorption that way. So I don't know.
It's also like the calcium and stuff. It's you need that balance of calcium and alkalinity. Alkalinity, within the right parameters, helps break down stuff into calcium, like the substrate and the rock help slowly break it down to release calcium into the water column. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Last cockatoo lived to 22 years old. See, that's awesome. Like, I'm really already like happy with like how much progress I've gotten with my little guy and how vocal he is and like mimicking R2D2 and stuff like that. And it's like I've had him for I believe a whole year now. And it's only been like 1 year. And so it's maybe like a year and a couple months now. And it's like he's already made this much progress and it's like I can't imagine, 5-6 years down the road because parakeets can live up to like 15 years. And so it's like I can't it's weird thinking like that long into the future. I mean, especially because it's like I still feel like I got my cat like yesterday and she's 8 years old.
Yeah. Bunny's bringing up the downsides to saltwater, trying to scare everybody away. Bobbit worms. They're really not that common.
Bobbit worms.
Yoo-hoo. Yoo-hoo.
Bobbit worms. Nuts. Those are the ones that have the
pinchers. Yeah. Yeah, Bunny, you got a bird that'll take your finger off. What are you scared of bobbit worms for?
I mean, I'm already missing something like, bobbit worm taking something off of me or whatever. It's just a little something extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've talked about that since like my first live stream or whatever. Yeah, when I'm missing part of my finger. I smashed it in a door when I was 9 years old. But I thought about that again today because when we were out playing golf, with the tournament, there's like a longest drive, there's a closest to the pin hole, and then there's a like a best putt area where we go to like the warm up like putting green, and they just like pick like a really long distance, and whoever can sink the putt or at least get closest to the hole like wins the money for the hole. And I hit the dang flag. I didn't quite make it, but I was just like, yeah, when I was 9 years old and I had my arm in a cast after smashing my finger and stuff. we went to Branson and we played in like a putt course, and I remember I beat my entire family with only my right arm.
Nice.
There's this one hole that was literally like the green is or the tee spot is like down here, and it's just like a little small circle area where pretty much big enough for you to stand there and hit your ball, and then it's like a 30-degree hill just like straight up to like the green, like way up there, and then the green's really small too, so if you hit it too hard, it just goes up, hits off the back wall, and comes right back down. If you don't hit it hard enough, it just goes up the hill and then just rolls right back down. So you got to hit it like just right. And I straight up got a hole in one on that one with one arm.
So I think Petroman's here, and so is Mary Page.
Mary Page, Petroman, 1185. I think I saw somebody else roll in that I forgot to say hi to. Maybe not. It's great to see everybody.
Yeah.
That cat was 22 years old.
Jeez. Yeah, I have a lot of cleaning to do tomorrow. I procrastinated this past Thursday. Didn't clean as much as I was supposed to. And because I have my coworker watching. So next weekend is my sister's wedding.
Okay.
So I won't be in the stream next weekend. But my coworker is going to be pet sitting. And sorry, my dogs are starting a little spat with each other.
Well, I didn't know you had two.
Yeah, Logan and Riley. Yep. Logan's an old man. He doesn't climb up here anymore. Oh, so I was talking with her today about kind of their habits and everything, all my pets' habits, and we brought up the bird. She's like, "I'm gonna touch your bird," and I go, "You gonna get bit," because she doesn't like strangers. She goes, "Oh," and I'm like, "So if you want even a smidgen of a chance of touching her, she needs to be out of the cage."
Yep.
But even then, like, it's a very slight chance. And then she asked if she screams, and I was like, "Yeah, she'll scream throughout the day, but she won't wake you up. Like, she doesn't start screaming in the morning. She doesn't get active until she starts hearing movement."
So do you like cover her tank with or cage with a blanket or anything like that? Like you just
Nope.
Yeah.
We tried it for a little bit, but she started tearing holes in the blankets.
Oh yeah. I can understand that.
And with conures, you have to be really careful with fabric in the tank because they could start eating it, and then blockages. Number one thing that's kind of a mistake with conures is people get like those happy huts or the rope perches and stuff. She has a rope perch, but anytime she starts chewing on it, I take it out.
See, I probably wouldn't have known that.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I might have if I had a bigger bird.
Yeah. And if you take them to the vet will tell you that. So one thing that Petco did that really peeved me, so they had the official Happy Hut like brand, and it said on there on the old packaging, it said not safe for conures or do not use with conures. But when they rebranded their own brand, they rebranded that. I guess they bought that company or the rights to rebrand that product, and it doesn't say that anymore. And it really pissed me off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't like it when they do stuff like that. Though I am like partially on the side of like removing all warning labels. But I think that's more on like human stuff.
Yeah.
Like let humans do whatever they want to do and screw themselves up, you know, but but not the animals though. No, let's be good to our animals.
Wait, whose early birthday? Lady Diane. When's Lady Diane's birthday? Tuesday. Oh my God. Tuesday.
On the 4th of October. Okay.
October. Dang it, I'm working on Thursday this week. I can't. No lunch date this weekend either, or this Thursday either. She messaged me, what was it, last week? Whatever the Thursday or the week of my sister's bachelorette party, and I had to work that Thursday so I could have Saturday off. Well, that's happening again this next week for my sister's wedding. Dang it. And yet they put a goldfish on the pic of a 3-gallon fish tank at PetSmart. Is it Top Fin? Because then that's PetSmart. But if it's Aqueon's really bad about that too.
Yeah, Aqueon's terrible, man. Like they'll have a 1-gallon tank and they'll put a honey gourami in there. I mean, at least it's like a honey gourami, but like people don't know the difference. They just see gourami, and so they're like, "Oh, I can get one of those golden gouramis, and I can put it in this little bitty 1-gallon tank because this tank has a filter." Like,
or I think it's the 5-gallon desktop tank. I think they have a picture of like 2 fantail goldfish on there.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Oh, they literally make it's a 10-gallon like goldfish starter tank kit.
Yeah.
And it's like you shouldn't even put 1 goldfish in a 10-gallon tank, even if it has like a filter and all that stuff. Like maybe when it's teeny tiny, but even one of those like fancy goldfish, they still get, like the size of a football, not a softball or whatever. Like it's a big fish for a 10-gallon tank.
You get like 6 to 8 inches. Yeah.
Of course, it might not grow to its full size in that 10-gallon tank. It's going to be even more distorted and all that stuff in there.
Someone should go by and put a guppy sticker over them. I said that when I worked at Petco. I was like, I'm going to start printing off stickers of betas and putting them on every single one of these tanks.
Yeah. Even with the misspelling, yes, Aqueon is the worst, for sure.
Yeah.
Great to see you, Chewy.
What's up? And then you need to put googly eyes on the eyes of the stickers.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's really funny when people put the googly eyes on the people sticker or the dog posters, like any of them. Just I love the googly eyes on the pictures.
Yep. I swear I'm going to do that to a friend's house one of these days. Can't do it to me because I don't have pictures up. Well, I have some, but they're not framed, so I hope that you don't stick googly eyes on a exposed picture.
Yeah, a 10-gallon tank is good for like fry grow out.
Scrimps.
Also all right for shrimp. You could put a betta in a 10-gallon tank. You could also
kind of get you.
Oh, you can put a honey gourami in a 10-gallon tank. I think that's all right.
Or the dwarf gouramis, like the neon or the flame dwarfs.
Yeah. I feel like if you had a good enough filtration system and all that in there too, like, I mean, that's including like plants and all that. You could probably do like a pair of rams, and if they were to actually like breed in there, like you could, remove the fry into something else or whatever. But yeah, you definitely wouldn't want them to actually like raise their fry in a 10-gallon tank. That'd be better than like a 20-gallon for a pair of rams.
Lady Diane, do you have any guppy culls? that you'd be willing to give? Because we have a very, very picky ribbon eel that still hasn't eaten after about a week and a half at work. And I'm thinking the goldfish are probably too big. I do water changes every day, though. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like 10 years. She's got a lot of smaller tanks,
You know
like
what?
4 gallons, 6 gallons, stuff like that. But she's got a lot of really, really beautiful tanks, and yes, she does water changes every day. She's got a like super hardcore filter that she puts on her. No, or Diane, did you get a RO system now?
Tons
I
of
know you
guppies.
had I know you had some issues with like your water having some different stuff in it. Even like through your filter or whatever at one point, I think. So I don't remember if you got like an RO system or not, but I'm still working on getting myself an RO system. Yeah, not yet. Okay. Yeah, I want to definitely get an RO system for my saltwater tank.
You know who
It's
you
like,
can buy an RO system through is my work.
yeah.
Same price as BRS, just not the shipping. You don't have to pay the shipping.
Okay. Well, I'll probably end up doing that. you know.
We
Um,
usually try to keep 2 in stock.
I'm probably gonna end up buying most of my stuff from you guys.
Yeah.
That's Marine Solutions. I
Marine.
actually stopped by there. What was that? Was that on Monday?
I think
Or
so.
something like that. I got off work early enough to where I can, swing by there semi on my way home. It's not really too far out of the way to swing by Marine Solutions. Snagged a little bit of filming in there. I kind of wish I got a little bit more footage, so I might stop by another day here.
Yeah.
Because I'm still trying to gather a little bit more footage for my next, parody song video. Because like I got this idea in my head, and there's just certain footage that I haven't been able to snag yet. And I was actually planning to get a lot of that done today. I had a lot of plans for today, and so then that was a little bit unfortunate with the golf tournament being today, because it's like today was like the day that I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and do all this stuff, and it's like, oh, golf tournament. So next week I will go out and do all this stuff on Saturday, hopefully.
Skipper.
Skipper.
Maybe it was Tuesday. Because I remember I was scrubbing algae. And I think it took Tuesday to finish scrubbing algae. The walls were bad.
There's some bubble algae. It wasn't too bad though.
The algae on the walls was pretty bad.
Yeah. But see, it's like saltwater is weird because even the algae looks beautiful.
Yeah. Some of it. There is the regular algae that looks like freshwater algae too. That's like
there's still that sort of stuff, but it's like the cyanobacteria. It has a really nice red hue to it, and the bubble algae has a really cool look to it. But yeah, it's strangely hard.
It is.
And it pops.
Yeah.
It's like little bitty eggs almost.
Yeah.
And you gotta squeeze and pop. But you don't want to do that in the tank because then it'll just spread everywhere.
Yeah. It releases the spores. But yeah, when Danny was in, I broke him off a chunk of bubble algae so he could feel it.
Yeah. Had a lot of really nice fish there. I love going to Marine Solutions.
We got a bunch more yesterday. Oh my gosh. We got a really good shipment. Everybody actually did really good overnight.
Oh, good. Good. I gotta come get some more rock from you guys too, especially since Damon is giving you a hard time about having so much rock there.
Well, what's funny is that we sold a bunch of it. Like,
Yeah.
like all those new installs that are coming up, so it's getting used, and I'm just like, oh man, too bad, Damon, that you have all of these choices of rock shapes now. Oh, I bet that sucks. Like,
Right. I definitely need to come in and get some different shaped rocks because I'm finding out that the stuff that they get at Petco is pretty much like stock made. Like
it is. Yeah.
every piece comes out almost exactly the same. There's a couple differences, but it's pretty much all exactly the same. I want to
That's
come there.
he
And
is.
could you guys have some of those like long, like arm like things
Yeah.
and different stuff like that that I kind of want to get all introduced in there?
Yeah, the branches, the arches are kind of that same way where they're kind of molded about the same. Each one's a little bit different. But yeah, we have the branches, we have the flats, which I was really excited to get. Damon was not a fan of that, but I was like, oh well, we got them now. So, but people have been getting a piece here and there, so they're getting sold.
Yeah, I'll probably grab a couple flat pieces just so that I like a lot of variance in there. And I mean,
Mhm.
being that it's only rocks, like you got to get as much different rocks in there as you can to try and get a lot of different looks in there.
Oh yeah.
I gotta be careful not to try and combine too much because there are different types of aquascaping in saltwater. Like
Mhm.
there's mounding, there's bonsai where you do like things that aren't natural with the rocks to make it
Right.
look like a tree and stuff. Like I'm
Yeah.
probably not gonna do any of that in there. I'm probably gonna try and make it look a little bit more natural, but I know
And
I kind of want to have
we have
two.
um
I
we
want
have
to
the
have like
rods now. So if you wanted to kind of stack and make your own tree like that, we have the rods that you can select
nice,
from. Yeah.
nice. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I definitely want to make it like kind of like two different mounds with like a pathway in the middle of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I'm going for. But then like the arches and stuff within them.
I think that's kind of what kind of not peeved, but kind of irritated my boss is that he really likes to use just the arches, and it does look really nice, but not everybody wants to do the same thing. So when I got the different shapes, it kind of just like disrupted his norm. I'm
Yeah.
like, sorry.
Right. Oh yeah, the fancy arches are nice. And I'm definitely gonna have a fancy arch or two in my tank, but I don't want to go too crazy with it. But I always want at least an arch in the
Yeah.
tank or something like that. Like the tank below us or whatever. Like I really like having that arch in the wood. And I just think of myself like if I were a fish or whatever, like I would love things to swim through. Like or if I was like flying around or whatever, I've seen some really awesome videos of like birds flying through different things, and especially like the birds of prey, like you got these like hawks and stuff that are like flying through a tree that's only like this wide, and they're just like curving their body in and like going through it and stuff. Like,
Yep.
yeah, I'd want stuff to swim through, and plus it's visually appealing as well,
And allows flow.
and allows flow. Yeah.
Yep.
And
Did you
then
see
like you can have like different layers of like stuff too. Like you can have it open up and have like a coral in front of it to where like the fish can be like behind the coral. And
Yep. Did you see Sky Dancer's comment about the possible new song ideas?
glad you like it. I would like to hear you sing it.
Yeah. Above that.
What do you think about Too Sexy for
His fin?
For his fins? I don't think I could really do that. So
Not the right style.
no, I just don't really. I don't know. At least the idea of how it worked didn't just like snap in my head. Like I don't know. I might be able to make that one work or something like that.
Oh,
Most of my ideas, they just like it just pops in my head, and
yeah.
I do that sort of thing all the time. Like people will just say something, and it just like it might not even be the exact same thing as the song lyric, but it just reminds me of a song lyric, and so next thing I know, I'm just singing the song, and that's kind of how I came up with all my parody songs and stuff too. So like I've even started some songs thinking I'm gonna go one way, and then like halfway through, I just like my whole idea changes, and I realize no, like now I have this whole like story within the song or whatever that I gotta like actually roll with, and it makes it like a whole lot better that way.
Hmm.
Especially this like song that I've been working on hardcore. Like I originally had this one idea in mind, and then like when I was like working through the lyrics and stuff, I kind of just changed a couple of the words, and it just changed the whole feel of the song to where it's just like now it's like I have this whole other idea with the music video that I'm like rolling with in my original plan with the music video. And so like I really think everybody's gonna be happy with it whenever I finally get it all finished. But trying to do it all myself when I really need like a 5-man team.
Right.
That would be a lot better.
Speaking of my work, Matt actually, I think, did or he's in the process of putting it on Fish Family. So that's exciting. But yeah,
Yeah, exactly. The artistic process. It's the same for everybody, but even like if you have a different medium, like when you're working with clay or whatever, you might start one way, and then the clay just tells you something else, as you're working with it. I don't know if you guys can hear him or not. Probably not. He's just up there just making little chirps and stuff as I just keep talking, and it's just so adorable.
oh, is Marco in her cage? Apparently, it's Marco's bedtime.
Yeah. Yeah, it's my bedtime too. I was having a really good nap.
Yeah, I know. I've been going to bed early. I missed Stephen P's stream. I missed. Apparently, I think George RB3 went live, and they were even talking salty, and I'm disappointed I missed it.
Yeah. That sounds about right there, Stephen P. Great to see you. Yeah, like what I pretty much do, and what I have been kind of doing, like I've been gathering a little bit of footage here and there, because I just don't have the time that I used to. So it's like I go and I'm at work, and I get off work, and I stop at the pet store real quick to get some crickets for my gecko, and then say okay, I'll snap a little bit of footage of your fish tanks real quick and do all this stuff. It's like, all right, thanks for the crickets. I'm out of here. See you next week. And but yeah, I pretty much just gathered up all a little bit of that footage, but I haven't shot any of like the stuff here at my house yet, because I'll pretty much like shoot all that at once and then go down and edit the entire thing all at once.
Yeah.
At least the video. I've already finished all the music part of it. Um, but actually I'm not super happy with it. So I still haven't gone back and edited some of the minor things, uh, like getting everything like perfectly lined up on the exact same beat. Jeffrey Watts, great to see you driving and lurking. Be safe out there. Pet Zotics, how's it going, Diego? TV pictures like Halloween headbands. Halloween headbands, that's cool.
Petzotics wants to know what kind of gecko you have.
It's a golden gecko. I had never heard of these guys before until we got them in at Pet Supplies Plus. I'm about to Google them because he's almost never out for people to, see him. Every so often I'll walk into my fish room and he'll be kind of out. Um, but they're really really cool. In fact, this is the picture that I used for um my thumbnail on the video that I made building the tank for him. I cut out the gecko from this picture and like just put it in on the screen. If you kind of look, but yeah, they have like a golden back. They'll also kind of turn kind of purpley and blue and stuff like that.
Cute.
Yeah, they kind of camouflage themselves related to everything else, just like all other lizards, pretty much. Um, but the way that he moves, he's one of those like stick on the wall type geckos. So I called him Randall because his coloration and the way that he moved just reminded me of Randall from Monsters Inc.
Oh yeah.
So I called him Randall when I actually saw him there at the pet store. One of my other uh, kind of a friend of mine ended up buying him, and he ended up actually working at the pet store for a while after he bought him. But then he was a younger kid and just kind of bought too many animals that he couldn't really take care of them all. So he ended up like he knew that I liked Randall a lot, so he ended up giving him to me with like his enclosure and stuff like that. But yeah, he's a fun little guy. The care for these guys, I think they're from like I think they're from somewhere in Asia. I don't remember what it was when I looked it all up, but the care for them is very similar to crested geckos. If anybody knows how to take care of them, so they're like subtropical, so they don't need to be like super hot or anything like that. Like room temperature is basically fine for them. Or like fish room would actually be like absolutely perfect for them. Uh, and then they don't necessarily need like a whole lot of UV light or anything like that because they are nocturnal, so they don't like do basking or anything like that like other lizards do. They get their calcium and all that stuff from their food, and then they are omnivores as well, so you can feed them crickets, mealworms, all that sort of stuff, as well as the fruit paste, the rapashi, all that sort of stuff as well. Or even you could make your own like fruit paste if you wanted to. I definitely smashed up some blackberries and gave him some of those.
Cute.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really see him during the day. Very rarely will I. But yeah, it's mainly when I walk in at night with like a flashlight or whatever that all of a sudden I'll see him on the side of the tank, and he'll look at me real quick and then shuffle back to his hiding spot. And which he's so comfortable in there, which is one of the main reasons why I still haven't moved him into his new enclosure. Um, Because yeah, I don't see any of the tree frogs in there anymore. Yeah, Vietnam and Southeast Asia. Yeah, they're really cool. And another really awesome lizard that I've had before was called a step runner. They're actually native to Romania, and uh, their care is kind of similar to like a bearded dragon, but they are a lot smaller than a bearded dragon. That's about as big as they get, there in your hand. They have a really, really cool pattern. I had one named him Smog after the dragon from The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Um, yeah, they're really cool little guys. They're kind of like skinks almost in about the size that they are, like same as like a blue tongue skink or something like that. And they're pretty quick as well. But they like to, soak in water and different times and dig in the sand and things like that. But it was fun to watch him hunt. He's a cool little guy. It's like watching like a miniature Komodo dragon hunt and stuff. And his tail, when there would be like crickets in there and stuff, his tail would start going crazy. You could tell that he was like happily hunting. And I love watching that with the different lizards. Like the leopard geckos will
Oh my
really
god,
get like that. They hunt like little leopards. It's so cute. And they'll just like sneak up on the cricket. They're just like looking at it and
the
stuff.
end of
And
their
they got
tail.
just
Just the end of
tail
their
like wagging and twirling around. Yeah,
Oh my
the
god,
step
when you get a,
the deserts of Romania apparently is where they're from.
or when you get a new batch of leopard geckos in and they're not used to being like misted and you spray them and they scream.
Yeah.
It takes about a week for them to adjust, but yeah, you spray and they're
Yeah.
just 3 or 4 of them screaming at you. It's like, sorry,
Yeah.
but it's for you.
See, we would never intentionally spray the geckos because they would scream and stuff like that. We'd always be trying. We would like take their enclosure out and have the sphagnum moss in there, and like
Yeah.
really just spray down the sphagnum moss, get that good and soaked, and then, well, not soaked, but good and moist. For the people that hate that word, moist. But yeah, bearded dragons are cool, but they need a nice big enclosure. Whereas a step runner, he would be happy in a 20 long for his entire life. And they just need, good warm temperatures, like 100 to maybe 110 on one side of the tank, and then, 80 to 90 degrees on the other side of the tank. And then, night temperatures, you can pretty much, turn the tank light off completely and have the night temperatures go down to, room temperature pretty much if you wanted to, as long as your room is like in the 70s. Like, definitely don't bring them down to the 60s.
You're the one that lifted your head up.
But yeah, deserts experience the craziest like temperature swings for real. I remember when I was in Iraq, it got up to 120 degrees during the day, and like I want to say I kind of got used to it, but that sort of heat's not really something you really get used to. But like it for some reason didn't feel like nearly as hot as like 100 degrees does here in St. Louis sometimes.
Yeah.
At least not that I remember. But when it would get down to the 80s overnight, like it felt cold because it was a 40-degree temperature difference. And that's not the sort of thing you experience like over here in the US, really, and not a lot of other places in the world. most temperature swings, you get, 20 degrees maybe from 20 to 30 degrees maybe throughout day and night, but not like a 40-degree temperature difference.
Yeah, at least not on the regular. It's a dry heat. Yep. Another good reptile suggestion for a small tank would be Pac-Man frogs. Well,
Yes.
a Pac-Man frog. You can't
Yes,
keep them.
because they will eat each other.
They will eat, or at least try to eat each other.
Yep.
Yeah, a Pac-Man frog. And they come in such a wide variety of color morphs, and they're so freaking cute. I love them.
And they get about the size of a softball as well.
Yes. The females are quiet, so if you want a quiet frog, get a female. The males will vocalize at night. And they're so easy. So they're a ambush predator, so they bury themselves in the ground in the dirt, and so they'll stay there. And usually after about 4 to 6 days, they'll move, and that means that they defecated there. So you can just spot clean the cage. You never have to take everything out.
Yep.
It's so easy. But yeah.
It's a dry heat. Yeah. It was definitely a dry heat. And I remember too, when it would get above 105, 110, we had it was a special heat category over there to where you could break some of the normal rules, and so when it would get a certain temperature, as long as I wasn't actively searching a vehicle or something like that, I could sit down and open up my bulletproof vest. And man, let me tell you, when you open that up and it's your entire torso is just completely covered with sweat, the instant evaporation, it just cools you down so fast. And we did have special uniforms when we were over there too. You don't wear the regular uniform that you see people walking around with here that are full jackets and stuff. You would wear that sometimes, but we had what we would call it was a frog shirt or something. It was the nickname that we called it, where it's in the torso area, it's a very, very breathable fabric that has plenty of pores for air to go through and stuff like that. And then the sleeves are a little bit thicker, and they have the standard camo pattern and pockets and stuff on that. So where our body armor was sitting on us, we had a very nice breathable layer, so it wasn't super thick underneath. But yeah, it was really nice. But no, yeah, we definitely had the plate carrier was in a separate vest. Yeah, we had a bulletproof vest that had a area here, and then you put the plate in, and then it would have a Velcro section on that as well.
Cool.
Yeah. Aquarium's maintained by Andy, but great to see you here.
Andy, hello. Yeah, but Pac-Man frogs are so easy. You could easily will it to somebody, and it wouldn't be that much of a bother for them.
Yep, 4 to 7 inches. The size of a softball, if not a little bit bigger than a softball. And
yeah, mine.
Yeah, and
before
their mouth. So they're called Pac-Man frogs for a reason. Their mouth is their entire body pretty much. So
they're all stomach.
When they get that big, they can eat some really big food. People are definitely feeding their frogs full-size mice and baby rats, and
which should only be every now and then. That's a really high fat content, and it could give them fatty liver disease. So every so often, once a month, once every other month. Not very often.
Other than that, like you got to get them like night crawlers and feed them like 10 of them in one sitting. Yeah, they're
I
heavy
think
eaters.
overestimate the number of people willing to take hand-me-down animals. Well,
See,
schools. I'm sure biology teachers would appreciate them.
yeah, a Pac-Man frog is basically the Oscar of the frog world. So they just feed it everything.
Everything. Oh my god. I used to get mine dubia roaches. Matt's here.
Well, I never overestimate the number of people. I mean, actually, I don't know. Some people definitely will take hand-me-down animals. I think some people think that it's easier to take care of an animal that was taking care of somebody else before. And that's sometimes true, but not always true. Because some of these people have absolutely no idea what they're doing and they raise their dogs or whatever else to, do stupid things. And I always try really hard to like not enforce or not reinforce bad behavior with dogs or whatever when I'm out with my customers. Like I carry dog treats and stuff, and I will give a dog a treat, but when it misbehaves or whatever, like I don't give it its treat. Like if it runs out and it's like demanding one or stuff like that, or it's disobeying its owners, not going inside when they're calling it to go inside and stuff like that, like it doesn't get a treat that day. And then like a lot of people don't always realize that, their dogs are always barking at people outside their house and at cars and things like that, because basically one time somebody came up to the house, the dog started barking at them, and the person left. And so they think that their job is to bark at the person until they leave.
Yeah. I was laughing at Steven's comment. I sent you use Handler's Zenger.
So yeah, whenever I try to, whenever I go up to a customer's house and they don't answer the door and they have the dog that just sits there and just barks at me the entire time, I try to hang out long enough until the dog stops barking, and then I leave. Because maybe the dog will not necessarily bark nearly as much. I mean, some people want a little alarm system, but you don't want it to get excessive. Like barking a little bit when I am at the door to let me know that there's somebody at the door is cool. But when you're just constantly barking for like 15 minutes straight because there's a person standing there, like, shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good question there, Matt. How's it going, though? Net. Used and lose. Yeah, Pac-Man Frogs, they'll just bury themselves.
Yep.
And they don't really move around much. But sometimes you get lucky and they bury themselves where you can see them. See?
Yep. Yes, sometimes they'll bury themselves where just their eyes are poking out, or not even their eyes. Like if they're not hungry, they're just completely buried. But yeah, sometimes they'll bury themselves to their chin so you can at least see their whole face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think probably the hardest thing with Pac-Man Frogs is making sure that you set up a good like bog system for them, because they need good like moist substrate that they can bury themselves in, but it can't be like too swampy.
Yeah.
And then when it comes down to it, if you don't have like a bioactive system, you're gonna want to kind of clean that out every other week, if not every week, because you're just basically asking for bacteria and mold to start growing.
Yeah. Scuba Steve, what's up?
Scuba Steve-O's Champion Aquatics. Yep. I try to reinforce good behavior with dogs and all people's animals and their children as well.
Yeah.
I try my best to be a good human being and a good influence on people versus a bad influence. Though
Well, it's funny.
sometimes we all need a bad influence.
Whenever when Nathan and I started dating and I started going to the lake house with like his aunt and uncles and his cousins and stuff, sometimes the dogs, since they weren't used to each other, they would start a little fight. Well, one of his cousins always thought it was their dog that would start the fight. They're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, my dog starts the fight." And I was like, "No, no, no, it's actually the husky." He gives this look, and I called it talking shit. He's
Yep.
talking shit, and then he's actually starting the fight.
Yep. It's like the little brother or whatever that just sits there and is constantly poking at you, and then
Yeah.
you snap back and you slap him in the face. And they're like, man!
Exactly. It was this little side eye look. He'd lower his head in that little side eye look, and I'm like, "Oh, he's talking shit.
He's gonna do it.
He's talking shit."
Yep. Exactly. Animals respond off of body language so much more than anything else.
Yeah.
And oh, there's a bad echo.
Yeah, I think I was echoing.
I don't know. I never hear the echo, so it's probably always relating to me, but that's what I get for my having my setup the way I do. Yeah. I definitely prefer animals over kids, yeah. Yeah. I still love kids though. I love babies. One of my customers has a baby that they watch throughout the week because they do like an in-home daycare sort of thing, and yeah, I'm sitting there like trying to get like their food order and stuff, and this baby's just like staring at me and just like bouncing, and I love kids like me. And
Yeah.
I think it's because I kind of understand kids more than adults.
I feel that. I love the age like 2 to 5. I love that age.
Yeah. I think like 5-year-olds are probably some of the best
Mm-hmm.
because, well, and yeah, like 3-year-olds too are pretty good. Yeah,
When they
like,
start
the 3 to 5 range. Two is a little rough. Like between like late 1 to like early 3, even like is a little rough because that's mainly when kids are learning about no and pushing boundaries, and they will literally push your boundaries because they're learning what they can get away with and what they can't. And so yeah, that's a very tough time. But when they're like later 3 to like 5, maybe even up to like 7 and stuff like that, they're your little helpers. And
Yeah.
those are the best little kids. They want to cook with you, they want to clean with you, they want to do everything that you do because they just want to be your little helper. Vibes Aquatics is here.
Vibes.
What? So, Brendan has game night tonight, right?
Yes.
Yes. Misfits Reptiles and Aquatics has game night tonight. And I'm playing tonight.
I think he's looking for a few more people. So if anybody wants to join, message him on Discord, Instagram, or email him.
How
Don't know what
will
we're playing.
is he gonna send me a link, or are you
Yeah.
gonna? Okay.
Or he'll send it to me and I'll send it to you. Oh wait, he doesn't need to send it to me. I have admin access. I'll send it to you.
Yeah. There you go.
It's funny because he'll forget sometimes, and I'm joining game night, and he'll send me the link, and I'm like, I don't need the link. I can just hop in. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, if we don't know what we're playing, we always leave it up, or they always leave it up to chat. I don't know if I'm gonna be in game night.
Oh.
He said he needed one more just now in Discord. Oh, okay.
I hope we play Cards Against Humanity because I love that game.
That is
I love
fun.
a good laugh. There's a lot of different versions of that same game. I think the first one was originally Apples to Apples.
Yep.
And then it started branching out into all these different games, and Cards Against Humanity was like the adult version. And then there's like this one game that I've played called the T-shirt game, and that one's a lot of fun. So you have a slogan and then like a picture, and so you have to basically design the best T-shirt, and so it's kind of funny, too, and stuff like that. And there's also like my brother, I think, got me. That's What She Said for Christmas a couple years ago or something like that, and I've played it a couple times. It's honestly it's not as good as I thought it would be. Trying to make the best That's What She Said joke, because I mean, so, like when you play things like Cards Against Humanity, sometimes you just get around where nobody has any good cards, and that seemed to happen more with the That's What She Said game. It's just like nobody could come up with an actual like good one at all. I was only playing with like 3 people though, and I think it would be better with more people, more options. But
And there's also the What Do You Meme, which I think they expanded on.
Yep, where you make the best meme.
Yep. But yeah. I think you thought you were going to do something else.
He's flying around now. Yeah, I feel like That's What She Said did not have enough cards, or like the things just were not coming together. I think, overall we only had like probably 3, maybe 4 That's What She Said jokes that were actually like good That's What She Said jokes that made us giggle a little bit. Whereas like almost every round of Cards Against Humanity, I'll find myself cracking up.
Yeah.
You might get a few bad ones, like maybe 3 or 4 bad rounds.
So, a couple months ago, I did it was just during one of my pop-up streams at night, and I decided to pull out the Never Have I Ever deck, and I never actually played that card game with my friends, so it was the first time I was really looking at them. A lot of them are like sex themed, like more than I thought. So I was this is very like you'd be learning a lot about people.
Yeah, that game is it's definitely very much about sex.
I was really
That's how
surprised.
the game
Like,
started too.
yeah,
College frat parties, right?
right. We played with 4 people, so I definitely think it would be work better with more people. Yeah.
Exactly. More people, more options, like better chance of actually getting a joke that actually works.
What are you doing? What's in that? No, Gina, it's a bit much. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh, you know, just sitting here, not doing much.
Like cat was just up, like going up like into my legs, like she wanted me to pick her up, and then I tried to pick her up, and she walked away.
Yeah, sounds like
Being
typical.
a cat.
Yep.
Really?
Oh, my cousin was over yesterday, or not my cousin, my nephew, and he asked. We were just talking about the dog, and I mentioned how old Logan was, and he goes, "Well, what do you plan on doing after he passes?" And I was like, "Oh, we're gonna get a cat. We're not gonna get a cat." But Nathan just glared at me. Like, no,
I saw this like short on YouTube, and it really made me laugh because it's like it's so true. And I'm gonna kind of put this out into chat. Chat, if you have 2 cats, and this only works if you have 2 cats, I believe everybody has the same 2 cats. Not necessarily like the way that they look or anything like that, but the like mentality. You have one cat that's a sweetheart, would do like everything for you, is very well behaved, does the things that you want. And then you got the other cat that's just like a crazy psycho and just instigates a whole bunch of things and just runs around like crazy. And I had both of those cats at one point, and so like I started laughing when I was watching this YouTube short because it was definitely true for me. The one cat was so darn crazy that I had to end up getting rid of it.
Crypt. What's up? What's up?
Yeah, 8 cats. Oh man, that's a cat person. 7 cats. There's a spectrum here. Crypt Keeper Aquatics. Great to see you.
I don't know. At one point, I had 2 cats, and they were both about the same. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Was one younger? I find that true. If one is older, one is younger.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, the older one versus the younger one. You get one, so it kind of works that way too. You know, you get one cat, and you find out that you have the best cat in the entire world, and so you're like, oh, if I have one great cat, what's even better? Let's have 2 great cats, and so you get your cat a little kitten or whatever, and the older cat is just like, what is this thing?
Yeah.
And so then you end up with a psycho cat. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Maybe that was the difference because the 2 cats I had, we got them both as kittens at the same time. So they grew up together.
Yep. And you know what? It's kind of funny because I really think there's some truth into, how the older cat raises the younger cat or whatever too, because when Tundra was younger, or like when I first got her, when I was with my ex-fiance, Tundra was pretty darn crazy. And it's because my ex-fiance's cat is literally crazy. But when we broke up and stuff, like my cat became like much more chill, and she's like super awesome. And like yeah, my ex fiance's cat, like whenever I go over to her parents' house and stuff, like yeah, that cat is still crazy. Calmed down a lot now, but still pretty crazy. They have multiple cats, and that one's pretty much the instigator of everything. So
Almost as bad as getting two puppies. Yeah, they wore each other out, but Nathan and I agreed whenever we moved into our house that we'll never get a puppy. Technically, Riley was a puppy when we got her. She was like 8 months old, but she was really good. She was really well trained. Her previous owner trained her really well. So she was an exception. But I will never get like a 12-week-old puppy. I don't have the patience or the time to train.
yep. Yep, that's kind of how you end up with multiple cats. You just kind of keep taking them in. There's always an excuse, but you just end up taking them all in. And because that's what my ex fiance's parents do too. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 5 cats now. They originally had 2, and then they got 3. And they lost one. He had cancer. But then when my ex fiance died, they took in her cats. So they ended up with 3 cats. And they also had this outdoor cat that it was just in the neighborhood, and they started kind of feeding it. And the next thing they know, it became an indoor cat. And so then they ended up with 4 cats. And then the same thing happened again after they lost the one cat to cancer. Another like outdoor cat came around and was just kind of like the neighborhood outdoor cat for a while. Would probably go house to house, just get food from all different sorts of cat ladies and stuff. And now that cat is completely their cat. Is indoors most of the time, but will go outdoors and kind of explore the neighborhood sometimes, but spends most of his time indoors. And so yeah, now they have 5 cats.
What's up, Brennan?
Brennan, yep, we were talking about you just a little bit earlier. I'm getting pumped for game night tonight.
Yeah.
I still gotta wake all the way up though. I just want to take another nap.
Yeah, I'll have to make another coffee.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to make more coffee. Good thing we're gonna have like a half hour in between to get like ready to go.
Yep. Some food, more coffee.
Oh yeah, I definitely need some food too.
My crown is missing.
I had 4 hot dogs at the golf tournament, and then had a little bit of I think they called it Italian style beef or whatever. I don't know what makes it Italian beef. I don't think the cows came from Italy, but it's like in like a gravy or whatever, all like pulled and stuff, and just put it on sandwiches. And so I grabbed a little dinner roll and made myself a little beef sandwich, but that was the only thing I ate other than those hot dogs. I was hungry earlier though. I woke up, giving myself enough time to get my stuff together and make my coffee and pretty much go to the tournament. But when they had the Valley of Flowers in Florissant at spring, there was a guy that was selling some like used golf balls or whatever, and so I bought myself a pack of golf balls, and so I had a bag of golf balls sitting around somewhere, and I couldn't remember where I put it, so I drove myself crazy trying to find my ball sack earlier, and It was just crazy. And the thing is, it was exactly where I put it. I just put boxes on top of it.
You boxed up your ball sack?
Yep, I boxed up my ball sack and I couldn't see it, and I drove myself crazy trying to find it. It was almost late for tee off this morning. But because of that, I didn't get the breakfast that I wanted to get. I had one frozen breakfast sandwich left that I was going to make, and I didn't get around to that because I wanted to make sure that I'd still get there on time. Yep, exactly. It's a big issue. But I've learned now, definitely don't use blue balls. At least not on a really nice day like today where the sky was so blue, because it may be easier to find it on the grass, but you have no idea where it goes once you hit it off the with with your golf club. Like, you strike it, it goes up into the sky, and you're just like, okay.
And
Well, and like I still got to get like new contacts and glasses and stuff. If I didn't have a team with me, I would have had absolutely no idea where like any of my shots were going today. It was terrible. Like, I thought I was fine, but I could see where other people's shots were going. But I'd hit mine and I'd look up and I'd like look up, I'd look down, I'd look left and right. I'm like, I have no idea where my ball's at. And they're like, you're up there, like just right of the bunker. And I'm like, okay, thanks.
yeah. You had other people keeping track of your balls?
Yep. Blue balls are an issue too, yeah. But I knew like I hadn't stroked it in like an entire year. So I had to, start off with the blue ball on my first stroke,
Normal chat for the fish fam. Yeah, you can't walk away from these fish fam streams. Come back to some weird conversations.
Sports are great for innuendos.
It's true.
It's true. Oh, man. So I remember last week I told you guys how I was working on another t-shirt design, and I went through this whole thing debacle with my phone trying to actually have get the design to go, and it ended up like glitching out on me. So the other day I went on there on my computer and made the whole design and did everything, and everything was totally fine. And then like right there at the end, it glitched out on me when I hit like finished product or whatever. So I spent like another like 45 minutes to an hour making the design, getting like all the different sorts of like t-shirts and everything I wanted it to be on, making sure it had all the right alignment and stuff on every single design. And then I ended up with nothing at the end of it again. So
yeah,
one of these other days I'm going to go through the whole thing again. And I'm really am wondering like why it's happening. Like, I'm wondering if there's like, if I'm like hitting a copyright or something with my what I was saying, or I don't know. Like, I don't think Teespring has that sort of issue. And can you copyright words? Because I'm not using an image or anything. Like,
I don't know.
I mean, I know you can like copyright like song lyrics and stuff like that, but it's not like song lyrics. But anyway, I'm trying to make a design and it says introverted, but willing to discus fish keeping. Like discus, but it's spelled like discus, the fish. Yeah.
At least once a week, someone blasphemous says pineapple belongs on pizza, and the wheels fall off the chat.
Well, pineapple definitely doesn't belong on pizza, but if somebody puts it on there with some Canadian bacon or whatever, and maybe some jalapenos, like I will eat it. But I actually, one of my favorite types of pizzas is like a true like hamburger pizza.
Yes.
I mean a cheeseburger pizza. Like where
Yeah.
you put like cheddar cheese on there, you're putting pickles on there. Like,
So,
yeah.
there's a place down by our lake house in Osage Beach that makes Big Mac pizzas. So yeah, it's like a cheeseburger pizza, but they add like the Thousand Island dressing on it. It's so good.
Yep.
It's so freaking good.
But see, I think the main thing is with the word belong. Yeah, pineapple doesn't belong on pizza, but I mean, pizza doesn't even belong on pizza nowadays. Like we have breakfast pizzas, we have vegetable pizzas, we have fruit
Pizza.
pizzas, we have all these different things. Like if you have flat dough with some sort of saucing and any sort of toppings, you can call it a pizza. So
Matt, I'm with
I
you.
don't disagree with you either, Matt. Like I don't not like pineapple on my pizza necessarily. If you have the right sort of pizza with, like I said, with the Canadian bacon, especially if you add like some jalapenos or something like that, because it's like the mango habanero, like pineapple and jalapeno, it goes pretty well together. So like I kind of get that, and I love breakfast pizza. But yeah, like I'm not going to order pineapple pizza myself. I'm not going to go out and do that. But if somebody else ordered one, like I'll have a piece. Like, not going to complain.
I do. I like pineapple on pizza.
Yep. Exactly. I prefer a meaty pizza, but I won't turn down a Hawaiian. Like, yeah, just all the meats times 2. Like, just so much meat on there. Like, that's what I want.
Zen fired me. I'm fired. I also just really like sweets. I really like it.
Grilled cheese toast, it could be pizza.
I mean, yeah, if it's open face and if you put some sort of like salt, like you said, a sauce in between. So yeah.
Yeah. If you put ranch on top of that, you got yourself a grilled cheese pizza.
I mean, there you have the.
Oh, now see, yeah, see there you go, Nana Aquarium. Yeah, now see, now you're understanding. Like, yes, barbecue sauce, pineapple, habaneros, some Canadian bacon. Maybe throw a little red onion on there. Smaller pieces, not giant chunks. Yeah. I love a barbecue chicken pizza. And I never really thought about putting the pineapples on there, but that actually sounds pretty good. But definitely meaty pizza is the best.
Oh, Lady Diane says I had to buy ice cream from Costco finally because Danny didn't bring the truck. Aw. Ooh, Aldi has this. Oh my god, it's vanilla with like a ribbon of caramel in it. Oh my god, it's so freaking good. It's so freaking good.
Okay, Diane, listen. I didn't want to say anything. I've been trying to get you to go and order, through like the app or online or something like that. I've been trying to get you to do that because I haven't wanted to admit that even though I went to your house like 3 times, and I know exactly where you live. I forgot exactly where you live.
He doesn't
I
remember.
haven't wanted to ask for your address again or anything like that because you live like walking distance, and I still need to GPS it.
I feel you. It takes me like 4 times for me to go somewhere before I finally stop using GPS. Rolls eyes.
Exactly.
The
I'm
sad.
rolling eyes at myself.
Oh, this is great. The truth comes out. My favorite pizzas that I've been really, really loving on. I actually made myself sick of them, so I haven't ordered it lately. But you get the cream sauce, so like the Alfredo sauce, and then
Yeah.
cheese, chicken, spinach, romaine tomatoes, and black olives. If
So like
peppercini
a
is like
Florentine
peppercini,
pizza.
yeah, it's so freaking good. So freaking
Yeah,
good.
that sounds all right. I'd take the tomatoes off.
Yeah, you don't have to do the tomatoes if you don't like tomatoes. But yeah, you can make it spicy. You can put jalapenos or pepperoncinis or something on it. Gotta work for my schwans. Beck, oh, we're talking pizza? Yeah, we're talking about pizza.
Yeah.
Love tomato on pizza? Yeah, I love tomato chunks. Chunky tomatoes.
I just don't like tomatoes, man. I like
Yeah,
tomato products, but I can't just do like straight tomato.
I can. I love just eating a tomato. It's my
The
with some salt.
closest I've gotten to just eating a tomato is my sister made fried green tomatoes once.
Those
Those
are
are
good.
all right. I can do fried green tomatoes. I think they'd be better if they were fried pickled green tomatoes.
Yeah, Zen started it. I bitched about people always discussing pizza and inadvertently started a pizza convo. Yep, sure did.
Mhm.
Well, it's about that time where Gina and I are like, we skipped dinner. It's about time to, get some
I
food whenever this stream is over. So we start thinking about what we're gonna eat after the stream.
I literally have a half an hour for when I get home, and then I have to like make caffeine, track down my chargers, get set up, talk to Nathan about at least some the cliff notes of our day, and then sit down and start streaming. Zen open mouth, insert pizza, I mean foot.
It's all Zenny's fault, isn't it? Always. You got exactly what you wanted, Zen. Oh man,
Well, let's
I
talk about
could make a pizza.
what we have a million chicken places around here. So what's your favorite place to get chicken?
Lady Diane's.
Lady Diane. Oh,
If it really depends. I mean, when it comes to the actual chicken itself, I'm probably not going to KFC, but I really love KFC's like mashed potatoes and gravy and their macaroni and cheese, and their chicken is passable to where like I can get through that to get to the really good stuff. Um, if I'm going to like a place along those lines for the actual chicken, I'm probably going to like Lee's Chicken, because Lee's has those double dippers that are just really really good, and they got a chipotle mayo. Chipotle ranch sauce that's really really good, and then they have like the best fried pickle spears too. So then you just got those. What?
they're spears.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. The fried pickle spears. That's how you're supposed to fry a pickle. because you still got like all the juice and everything of the pickle, and where everybody does the bottle caps, and they're always so dry that way,
Yeah. Yeah, you have to slice them thick.
or they're like chewy or something like that. Yeah, but yeah, the spears, fried pickle spears, is the best way to do it.
We need to go to Lee's Chicken and get these spears.
Yep. Irma Jean's had pretty good chicken. They do have pretty good chicken, and they do karaoke on Sunday nights too. But you forgot the yeah, I know exactly. I we get the best chicken there, but unfortunately I forgot the address. So I haven't had chicken in a while.
What?
You know, you're allowed to say that, but you're wrong. I mean, it's okay to be wrong, but you are wrong.
Nathan, can you get me the jar of pickles out of the fridge, please? I need to throw somebody out.
Wait, they had a spicy fried pickle chicken sandwich at Wendy's and I didn't know about it? Is this still a thing? Because
Uh-oh.
I'm about to go to Wendy's if this is a thing.
I love pickles. Danny, I need you to make me pickles, and I'll pay you for them. I want some nice home pickles. Yeah.
I make a mean pickle. And I have my own recipe for them too that I came up with.
If I could just request that they not be spicy.
Oh yeah, I can do that for you.
Yeah.
Not spicy at all.
At all.
Okay. Because I have one friend that she is so sensitive to like spice levels that if I like do anything at all, like she immediately like starts gagging from it and stuff. So
I don't gag, but yes, make it as if you were making it for like a 2-year-old.
so just jalapenos then. Gotcha.
No.
No, I'm kidding. No, I really like my pickle recipe because it's different than like the stuff that you'll get from the store. Because I basically just I was growing a whole bunch of different herbs and things, and just was kind of messing around in my garden and just kind of, smelling the different herbs and just kind of getting a sense of what I wanted to put in there, and it just ended up working perfectly. And man, I made probably some of the best pickles I've ever had, and I didn't make any pickles this year.
Matt, shut up. Lady Diane wants non-spicy pickles too.
Non-spicy pickles. Okay. I'm going to have to make some pickles.
Yes. I want
Kenny says butter is the most spicy you can stand. Man.
Watermelon rind.
Pickled hot peppers, red onion, watermelon.
The rind?
See, this is your problem, Crypt Keeper, is you keep going for the sweet pickles. That's why you think pickles are trash. So you need to go for some sour pickles and some spicy pickles. Like, let me make you some pickles, and then you tell me if pickles are trash. Like, I can understand if you don't like vinegar. Like, some people just really don't like, the taste of vinegar. So, that. But
I wouldn't be opposed to trying pickled watermelon rind.
it looks like they still have the sandwich. It's the hot honey chicken. Oh, the hot honey chicken sandwich. Nice. I made some hot honey. I really like hot honey. Yeah. In fact, that was like the inspiration for the first wing sauce that I ever made. I called it Hades honey because it was pretty much ghost peppers and honey. It had some other spices in there and some like onions and garlic and stuff too, but it was mainly just ghost peppers and honey. and it was really, really good. But yeah, it'd make your entire body sweat. I brought it to my family reunion, and I got like 8 or 9 people to try it, and they all said it was really good as they were like trying to, prevent themselves from coughing up all their food and their entire faces turning red. Like, so, yeah. I try and make myself a little bit more palatable. But no matter what, my stuff is always going to have good flavor if you can taste it through all the heat. Because, man, I've had some really good stuff related to heat, but man, it tasted gross. Like, I will never get the blazing wings from Buffalo Wild Wings. Like, I've had them before. I think I had them for like my 18th birthday or something like that when my dad took me out to dinner or something like that. But the heat, honestly, I didn't think they were that spicy, but they tasted terrible. It was so gross. Like, I couldn't finish them.
Yeah.
What's the process for making hot honey? Just traditional hot honey. Like, all you really got to do is dehydrate the peppers if you can, and then just soak them in the honey. Like, just add the crushed pepper flake or whatever directly into the honey. Or if you don't have like a dehydrator, you can just sort of like core the pepper and like de-seed it and all that stuff, and then just stuff the entire pepper in the honey as well, and then just do that for, I don't know, I wouldn't leave it for more than a few weeks, maybe up to like a month. The honey itself is like an antiseptic on a certain level, and will kind of prevent the peppers from like rotting within the honey for the most part. But I wouldn't like leave the peppers in there like super long term. If you dehydrate it and you crush them up, yeah, you can just leave them in there for forever. Like, it's not going to go bad. Yeah, it's hard to dehydrate frozen peppers. Yeah.
I
But
agree.
it's not
Zen.
impossible. You just got to unfreeze them.
I love the rolls from Texas Roadhouse and their butter. Oh my God.
Roadhouse. Yeah.
So good.
Yep. Just because it has heat doesn't mean it tastes good. The popcorn chicken, I actually thought their popcorn chicken was pretty good, but they were a little underwhelming. Yeah. I know that's what he has, Diane. He said super hot's in the freezer. What's the process to making hot honey? So that's why I told him how to make hot honey in a couple different ways. And he has a dehydrator, so he can do it all.
What are you doing? You knife shopping? Oh,
Saw that and really thought it was Kimber.
I thought it was Kimber
Yeah,
too.
same way. Where the fuck is it?
Copycat recipe. Oh, to the cinnamon honey butter from Texas Roadhouse.
Yes, it's so good.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a pretty easy recipe. When I cook, so people will cook and bake and stuff in different ways. Some people do it by measurement. And when it comes to baking, that's when you really need, like, you need to do it by measurement pretty much. But because baking is more of a science, I feel. But when I cook, like I cook by taste. So like if somebody's like, "What's your recipe for this and this or whatever?" I'm just like, I can give you a list of ingredients and probably tell you a general idea of what to start with, but I don't know how much like basil leaf flavor you want to experience from this. Like maybe you really like basil and you want extra basil-y spaghetti, but not everybody wants that much basil in their spaghetti. So I'll kind of give you a list and you throw in however much you want based on how much you want it, what you want it to taste like. Just taste it while you're cooking it.
Ian, what's up?
Atkins Nature Aquariums. Yeah, this is dipping butter, not for baking. Yeah. So what I would do to make that is I would first melt some butter in like a saucepan or something like that. Just kind of melt it on a like a really, really low heat. You don't want it to burn or anything like that. In fact, it'd be better if you did it like through like a water bath versus actually like directly on the stove. Um, and then I just add honey to it. Um, you know, I just probably start with like a little bit of honey, you know, not necessarily too much, and then just to sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon in there, and then I take it off the heat, and I just like keep stirring it, and just kind of whip it up as it starts to solidify, and then you got nice creamy butter with a little bit of honey and some cinnamon in there.
Ian got a full water box set up today. Ooh, exciting.
Oh, well, the water box. Nice. That's some good stuff.
Oh my gosh, I had a customer come in today and she's like, I've been getting Marineland tanks. This is my third tank and this one started leaking too. Like what's the best tank brand to get that won't leak? And I'm like, well, you can't guarantee that no tank will leak.
Yeah.
But I told her she needs to check that her tank is level because it sounds to me like her tank's not level.
Yep.
Because if one corner is low, it's going to end up twisting that tank, and that's what causes the leaks. So,
yeah. Rarely is it actually just like a bad silicone job unless you're buying like cheap tanks, you know. But
right.
I mean, if she wants a guaranteed like non-leaking tank, she can order it from custom aquariums.
Yeah.
But I mean, if she's just getting like a 10 or a 20-gallon tank, I wouldn't get that from custom aquariums. I'd just go to a Petco or a PetSmart and buy an Aqueon or whatever. And
well, that's what I told her too. I was like, my tanks at home are Aqueons, and I've had them for like 7 years, and they're fine. But Annette, what's up? But yeah, I mean, like
Guardians.
To me, it sounds like your tank's not level. So go to Petco, get an Aqueon tank, double check, triple check that it's level in all angles. So yeah. I wonder if they know what a level surface is. Yeah, that's what I even told her. I was like, get a leveler, like the stick with a little bubble in it, a leveler, and check every angle to make sure it's level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Zen, also about using softened or mixing it with softened butter, not fully melted. Because yeah, that sounds like too much work to me too.
Yeah. Yeah, just soften room temperature. Yeah. If you got real butter, you can do that. Not everybody has real butter though. What are you?
I don't think I've ever had a level tank. Too busy breeding.
I mean, those guppies are going crazy, Diane. So, and everything else you got in there. Oh man, we got 5 minutes left.
Says the man who just posted his leaking tank video. Oh man.
Come on, Zen. You know that most of what Matt says is just self-deprecating. You know?
Yeah.
It's like I'm sure Matt will say, "I've never fallen off a ladder either." Ah, yeah. See, yeah, I've never purchased a tank and had it leak either. Honestly, I don't even think I've ever even like water tested a tank. I've just like set it up and like, here we go. The only tank that I've like technically like water tested was I got this a used 55-gallon tank. So I kind of tested that with like a low level of water for just like one day to just make sure that there was no leaks first. And then I technically didn't like water test my 40-gallon breeder, but I did fill it up with water before I actually scaped it to because I had a big piece of driftwood, and so like I was trying to really just soak all the driftwood. So it's like let's just soak the driftwood in the tank itself because I didn't really have any other container big enough to soak that driftwood in.
Yeah, I didn't leak test the 120. We brought it home and it was like half full. And Nathan's like, we probably should have leak tested this outside. And I was like, well, too late now. Living
Oh,
life.
you got rid of all those guppies? Wow. That's surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, everything in my house is on carpet, so I really have no idea if any of it is like truly level or not. But as long as it's like level on the stand, that's all I'm really concerned about.
Vibe says he met another fish tuber today at his LFS. Oh my God, who was it?
Nice.
Drop names, drop links.
Yeah. Who'd you meet? What's his channel name?
I have other guppies, blue Hawaiians. They're breeding too. I have a lot of mud guppies. I will take some of those mud guppies for work.
Oh dang! Matt killed your guppies.
Oliver's Aquatic Garden. Ooh.
That sounds kind of familiar. Oliver's Aquatic Garden. Oh, it automatically filled in on. He's got 169 subscribers.
Let's get him into the fish fam and get him some more.
Yep. I just subscribed to him. Oh, yeah. He looks like a nice kid. Is he probably like 17, something like that?
George RB3, hello, hello. Oh, it's 10:01. It's food time.
Oh, Oh yeah, I forgot we started slightly late. So yeah, it's
Food time.
well, great
Food
to
time.
see you drop in real fast just to say hi and goodbye there, George. All right, everybody, it's that time. So I appreciate y'all for coming in and hanging out with us today, tonight, all that stuff. I hope to see you all over on Misfits Aquatics and Reptiles next in about a half hour for some game night. Not sure what we're going to play yet, but that's all up to you in chat. So we will see you there. I will also see you guys next week on our next episode of Fish and Friends. Gina won't be here with us, but I should be here unless I just come up with some stupid excuse as to not pop up. But I should be here. Gina, you got anything you want to say to the people?
Nope, I'm hungry. Goodbye.
Me hungry too. Bye, everybody. See you later. So long, and thanks for the fish. Bye-bye.